Hello, my name is Danny. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This has kind of been a long time coming. I've been contemplating and planning for and strategizing making this channel for so fucking long, but I'm finally here. So thanks to the recent coronavirus pandemic, the entire state of California is shutting down right now. This means that I haven't been going to school, I haven't been going to work. I've just been staying my ass in the crib. Especially considering that I have a compromised immune system, me being anywhere but home right now is really risky. On the topic of newness, today is an extremely important special day, the spring equinox. So equinox really just means equal, right? And the day of the equinox is the one day out of the year that both the northern and the southern hemisphere share the sun's rays equally. And this results in equal days and nights. So that means 12-hour days, 12-hour nights. I've got a visual for you here. Globes are my fave. But yeah, if you see this line that's kind of split in the middle here, this is the celestial equator. And the equator, of course, separates the northern hemisphere from the southern hemisphere. Now, what happens during the equinox is the sun passes through the celestial equator into the northern hemisphere. Now, that period of time where the sun is shining on both the southern and the northern hemisphere, that's the equinox. This event is extremely important for all life on Earth, just because the sun is powerful. The sun is nourishing. So this being an event that, depends on the actions of the sun, it is important for the rebirth and the reincarnation that we see here on the planet. It's all about starting anew. So after experiencing the winter solstice and seeing the end of the life cycle, seeing all of the death, seeing the leaves fall off the trees and change colors, the winds getting chillier and the days being a lot shorter. It goes from that and then it travels into the rebirth of everything that had died off in the previous season. It's essentially just the part of the cycle where the sun revisits us and gives us its full undivided attention, and in blessing us with its warmth and its energy, everything is allowed to grow anew again. So obviously this is when you see all of the plants and the flowers blooming back again, and the birds chirping, and the warm breeze in the trees. Now, technically, historically speaking, the equinox is also the astrological new year, or again, technically, historically speaking, the real new year. The calendar that we typically use today that recognizes January 1st as the new year is actually the Julian calendar. Julian meaning Julius Caesar of the Romans. Turns out that there was a whole system of calendar that the entire world used, known as the Kemetic calendar, from Egyptians, that the Romans kind of took elements from and completely just added a whole bunch of random days and months to, usually for the purpose of political squabbles or elections, wanting to give themselves more time to campaign and things like that. And of course, just going by the logic of European systemic oppression, this became known as the end-all be-all of date telling. One of the elements that significantly changed in the calendar was, of course, the day of the new year. In the Kemetic calendar, the day of the new year is the day of the vernal equinox. If you really think about it, having the day of the new year be on the same day that everything is rebirthing and reincarnating makes way more sense than having it in the dead of winter. The vernal equinox also happens to be the same time that the astrological calendar switches from Pisces season to Aries season. Aries being the first sign of the zodiac. So if the month of March has ever felt more than any other month like a time to turn the page and start on some new shit, now you know why. Usually the best thing to do the day of the equinox is to just go outside and ground yourself in nature. Again, that's a little bit of a challenge right now. I could probably go on a walk or something, but I can't be outside for too long. But that being said, I'm gonna be at home all day today for the most part, just engaging in self-care and doing some ritual work. But I wanted to take you guys with me and show you everything that I do. So if you're down for a tutorial on the recipe for a spiritual cleansing bath and for a tutorial on how to make your own spring equinox altar, please stay tuned. Feel free to pause if you need to. I just have some supplies listed here for the offering that we're going to give the earth, the altar light, and then also the cleansing bath. What I'm doing right here is just charging up the crystal that I'm about to offer to the earth in exchange for the fresh rose that I'm going to be taking. I'm charging it up with my intentions, transmuting all of my pain, my trauma, everything that I want to heal through and cleanse and renew, and putting it into this stone. And then I'm taking the stone, putting it into a banana peel, the banana peel kind of representing good fortune, and it being just a great package to kind of put everything into for Mama Earth. I'm also sprinkling some patchouli on top of that crystal into the banana peel and then folding it up. The patchouli I sprinkled in here is also going to bring about good fortune and energetic cleansing. Went ahead and buried it into the earth and took a beautiful rose in exchange. This is going to go into my jar. Okay, so I'm going to get started steeping these herbs for our cleansing bath first. I'm just going to pour some hot water on top of that and let it steep while I start making my tea light. This is just an herbal cleansing mixture that I put together myself. This is calendula, angelica root, patchouli, rose, lavender, and yarrow. I'm going to burn some of this during my ritual, and I'm going to put some of it in my jar as well. Right now, I'm just going to cleanse the jar off, both inside and out, with some Florida water. Notice how I'm rubbing down on the jar. You want to banish any kind of aforeacquired energy on all of your supplies. So you want to make sure that you're rubbing down to represent that. Now I'm going to take my rose and stuff it in this jar. Try to get it at least somewhat flat, just so that the egg/tea light has something to rest on top of. And then I'm going to put in my cinnamon stick next. I forgot to put this in the supplies, but yeah, I'm using cinnamon stick. You can use powdered cinnamon if you like. And then I'm just going to add some peppermint essential oil, just 1 drop on top of this tea light. I'm also going to take some yan yan oil and put a drop of that on the tea light as well. After I do that, I'm just going to swirl the oils in here around in a clockwise motion. Peppermint and yan yan as a blend, oh my god, top tier. Anyway, so I'm going to take some of this herbal mixture that I made and I'm going to sprinkle some of it on top of the tea light, again in a clockwise motion. Beautiful. Now I'm going to sprinkle some more of this herbal mixture inside of the jar, give it a smack of power. And I'm going to take my eggshell and plop that tea light inside of it. Now, the significance of the eggshell around the vernal equinox is kind of representative of fertility, new life, and rebirth. So this is a really important step. Our jar is beautiful, it's popping, it's glowing, it's ready for action. Yeah, so now that we're done with that, my herbs should be all done steeping for this here cleanse and bath. Now keep in mind, you can put this either in your bath water or you can just put it in a bowl to dump over your head in the shower. So we're just going to drain out our tea. And we're gonna throw some Florida water up in there. This is probably one of my favorite solutions for personal cleansing. I'm gonna add in some full moon water as well. This is some mountain spring water that I just let sit out under the full moon. This water is set with the intention to help release and cleanse, so that's amazing. I'm going to be adding in 2 drops of peppermint oil, also great for cleansing. And then after that, I'm going to add in 2 drops of yan oil. This is wonderful for optimism, self-confidence, and manifestation. We're going to sprinkle some salt up in here as well. This is sea salt. This is an essential. And then last but not least, just a drizzle of honey. Again, going in a clockwise motion. Honey is sticky and sweet, so we're trying to attract that cleansing and that healing. We're trying to attract that optimism and vitality and energy that we're kind of putting into this bath right now. And that's all done as well. So this is going to be a wonderful way to end the ritual I'm about to show you with our jar. Right now I'm burning some of that herbal mixture that I showed you guys I was making a little bit earlier. And I'm writing out some intentions for the new year. And in this letter, I'm being sure to give gratitude and thanks, not just to Mama Gaia, but to my ancestors and my spirit guides, making sure that I fold that paper towards me, and then I'm going to place it in my jar. I did take out the tea light in order to do that. And light that baby up.